Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Living Consciously, Loving Completely with Annette Kaiser. Welcome, Annette.
Thank you. And it's lovely to be here with you all. Thank you for your invitation.
Well, you're welcome. I'm Charissa Sims, live event host for Humanities Team, a 501c3 nonprofit whose mission is to make conscious living pervasive worldwide by 2040. And I'm coming to you live from Boulder, Colorado. And we're so excited to have Annette Kaiser join us today. How are you and where are you connecting from?
Well, I'm fine and I'm connecting from Switzerland, near the mountains. So I greet you wherever you are.
Wonderful. And I've been to Switzerland before. It's a beautiful country. I was in the town of Lucerne. So I wanted to welcome Annette's audience, the Sign Network, those streaming live through Humanities Team Facebook page, the Humanities Team YouTube channel, and Stream Plus members that are here in the green room with us. Welcome. Thanks for being members and for some of you that are on camera. Because it's a live program, we will have time for comments and questions. So try to get your question in within the first half of the program, the first 30 minutes. You can post it in the chat wherever you're watching it, and then you can get your question answered by Annette. Let me share a little bit more about Annette Kaiser. She was born in Zurich in 1948 after studying economics and sociology at the University of St. Gallen. She worked for many years in the field of development cooperation. At the end of the 1980s, she founded her Tai Chi Do School, which has been training teachers ever since. From 1982, she was a student of Miss Irina Tweedy for 17 years and was authorized by her in 1998 to continue the specific path of love. What a beautiful purpose. In 2000, she developed the Practice Path Do, which she continues to develop and teach people in a non-dual, cosmocentric understanding. In today's teaching and learning activities, Annette Kaiser focuses on the transformation of the heart of all people as a global way of life. As an evolutionary visionary, she sees herself in the tradition of an enlightened mysticism. She is close to Sri Aurobindo and Mother Mira Alfasa Oroville. In her book, One World, One Humanity, One Consciousness, she invites us to a universal spirituality. And I just feel I wanted to say that's so in alignment with Humanities Team mission of oneness and elevating consciousness. It's no doubt that you found each other. Besides her heart's commitment as a spiritual teacher and author, she is also the founder and spiritual director of the seminar house Villa Anspannen in Switzerland, which has been a place of silence and spiritual home for many people for 22 years. For more than 30 years, she has also been the president of the nonprofit organization Open Hands, which supports projects in Asia, Africa, and people worldwide. Her masterclass, The Art of Living in a Conscious Way, is available now on Stream Plus. So happy to speak with you today, Annette.
Thank you so much for your wonderful introduction.
Yes, and you've lived quite a wonderful life of service and giving back. So I'm sure there's many more that I didn't say. So I did want to start off our talk today with a video from your Stream Plus Masterclass because it's just, I feel like it will set the tone for this interview today. You talk about the challenges humanity is facing. So can you play the first clip, Jim?
We are nowadays in such a challenging world where we have to find or ask profound questions how we can find solutions for the challenges we face locally, globally. It's a major transition that takes place, and I would call it an invitation for us human beings to start the art of living in a conscious, joyous way.
So thank you for that. I just feel the video is so beautiful how you integrate nature and other scenes to demonstrate the challenges that we're facing. And how can we have the courage to face these challenges that might come up for us?
Well, I think first of all, it's good to be observing all that is happening and not putting it aside or getting into being afraid of all these challenges coming up towards humanity more and more. And it's cool, I think, to analyze, like Buddha did once, what is the reason where suffering or why suffering is happening in our world. And it is the case that the human being actually is the main one who is responsible for what is happening in the world. So the most suffering is actually created to the human being. That is good news because we are not, how do I say, vulnerable only and have no possibility to change things. No. If we are causing most of the suffering in this world, we can cause also a complete new earth where we start to live in peace again together. And that is a matter of consciousness. So the change, the big change, has to do that we understand the myth of separation. We have been taught since childhood that we are separate from each other, that I'm a separate human being also, and we are separated from that has no name. And transform this myth into the only reality, oneness, now, right now. So I think really the big invitation of today is to change the separateness into oneness. And from there, in a way, listening to the heart, listening to the evolutionary cosmic wave, and follow this inner call together to create a new way of living as humanity.
Mhm. That's beautiful. And I love that concept. And it's really deep also, that us as humans are the cause of the challenges. So, and that we can control this through our consciousness. Why do you feel there's such a strong pull in our society for separation consciousness? Is it just a paradigm that we've been in and need to lift out of?
When you look the evolutionary context of the whole earth, there is an evolution taking place since 4.5 billions of years. And first the earth was just stone and so on, then the life came, and then afterwards more complex life happened. And then finally at the very, very end, humanity has been developed or emerged from the evolutionary context. It's a bit more complex, but I say it like that. And the human being as such has also made a development in consciousness. You know, we have the explanation from Sri Aurobindo or Ken Wilber or from Teilhard de Chardin, where we had magic beliefs, we had mystical beliefs, then we went into the rationality, and now there's a next step into integral in understanding. So I think it's time, in many ways, that we understand that the world or humanity or life is inseparably one. And that helps, for example, also in 72, we had this big experience from a space shuttle looking at Earth, seeing the Earth as humanity for the first time in oneness. So that's a big starting of a shift where we understand there is no separation in the depth of our being. Life is one. And that has a lot of consequences in our thoughts, how we think, in our wording, how we speak, and the way we act as out of oneness. What does it mean as a way of living? So there we are on this transition to learn, explore together, to co-create together a new way of living that is again in harmony with the cosmic order.
That's beautiful. I love how you worded that. And so, what advice would you give to someone who is triggered by a situation or a person? Because I feel, it's my opinion, that that can be a strategy to connect to this oneness, is these triggers or feelings that might come up where you see something as separate from you, or why is this happening to me, or why is this person or conflict in my life? Do you have any comments on that?
Yes, of course. Well, first of all, it's very simple in one way and very complex on the other end. But let's take first the simple one. The simple one is the present moment now. If you are fully at that present moment now, there are no problems. There is nothing that makes us afraid. At that moment, just now, there is just spaceless space. There is peace. There is silence and love, because we are in essence pure love, pure consciousness. As soon as we are completely in the present moment, something opens in our being, in our heart, and there's a taste we cannot describe, we cannot get hold of directly or with the mind. It's a state of being, and in this state of being, all possibilities are available, which is not the case when we are in separation or when we are rooted only in the mind. The mind is a wonderful instrument, but we are much more than feelings, mind, body. We are a beautiful human being, a godly being that makes the experience of a human life. So that's the easy part. The complex part is, well, I have, these 5 attributes when I say wake up. That means presence. The second point is actually to clean up. And I had a wonderful practical teacher, Mrs. Tweedy. She told us the following, because you said the hindrance, what brings us out of the presence. What is it? Well, she's told us, if you react in anger, sorrow, you react to anything that emotionally can be sadness or, whatever, greed or whatever. More than 3 minutes, then you have a part in it. If it's coming from outside that you're triggered, or it comes from inside that you're triggered, look at it. There is something that you can discover is not yet integrated in your inner alchemy. It's an invitation to look at it, to take it to your heart and say, I am that too. Mm-hmm. Finally, we are the whole world in us. The whole cosmos is in us. So clean up. Then the third one is for me to grow up. Because, grow up means I'm responsible for my life. It's not my brother, not my parents, not my chief, or my office boss or whatever. I have all the possibilities to live my life in a beauty, in majesty, in the consciousness of being that has the power in itself to transform us, to in a way grow up also, not only as a human being, but having a perspective where we are ethnocentric, world-centric, cosmocentric, where we have possibilities from the different perspective to dance our life in a more easy way. The fourth one is blooming. Blooming up means every human being has a gift. Every human being is unique. In a deeper sense, we are all a drop in the ocean. And this drop has a godly attribute. It can be a clown, it can be a teacher, it can be a cook. It doesn't matter. It's the way how we practice this, how we give our gift to the world, the quality in it. So, blooming up means that we are aware of our unique self, unique gift. We are here to share with all the people, with Mother Earth, with the animals, the plants, with everything that is. And the fifth attribute for me is standing up, I call it. That means we are not only, sitting at home and doing our little things. It's, I think, important today also to be visible in a sense that we stand for these values of love, of peace, and of harmony that we share as a way of living, that we are cautious, listening to Mother Earth, listening to each other, be also in a cosmic connection. But not only that, for me, standing up means also that we have access now to the metaphysical world, where we have much more possibilities than we were taught at school, or even our parents told us. We have the potential, as we are made in His image. We have the potential to create a life together where the healing potential will be more accessible to us, where other aspects are available to co-create consciously together a new earth. So that's more the complex part of it. And the simple is to be present now. Each moment is an invitation to that.
Well, that's beautiful. And I love in your course on Stream Plus, you go through these 5 aspects, and each one is a module. And it's wonderful because you include meditations for that process. And I think meditation is such a great way to embed your teachings, to really embody it in mind, body, spirit. What do you think about how meditation fits into your teachings?
Well, I just practice it since I don't know how many years. And it's the moment of silence. We take all the senses inward and look inside, and looking inside and feeling inside and discovering who we really are in essence. It's such, how do I say, it's like drinking nectar. It's fulfilling. Of course, first we are also confronted with our shadows and the thoughts, and that's fine. All can be. But if we sink a little bit deeper in that silence, into that silence, we are at home. Wherever we are, our soul starts to sing, and we know everything is here right now. Also, all the knowledge is inside, and we are really guided from the light of our heart or the soul, or however you want to call it. Being, how do I say, devoted to life, saying yes to life, to the being here right now as a part of the totality.
Mm. And I want to go back to one of the simple strategies you were saying is to be present, to be here now. And sometimes it can be challenging because we just weren't taught to live that way. We're thinking about goals. What are we reaching for? How are we improving our lives? Or we get caught up in victim consciousness or our past, and we think that defines us. How can we shift that and to be present now? Do you have a strategy for us in the audience?
Oh, there are so many easy strategies for that, actually, For example, standing up in the morning. It's good when you put the feet on the ground to say, good morning, a new day is a good new day. To be aware for a moment. I'm here. It's a new day. A new day means everything is new. I don't have to think of the past or of the future. In the moment, the universe is also created in every moment new. So that is a possibility. Then I go to the bathroom and I take a shower. What can I do? For example, what I do is I talk to my body, to heal it, to thank the water, the warm water, the cold water, and to feel the water running over your body. When you feel completely how the water runs, you're in the moment, completely. Then, of course, you have a coffee or a cup of tea. Well, how do you prepare the coffee? You do everything, with attention. You take a glass of water and you drink a sip of water. And when you really are present, how the water is going down, you are very present and pleased and estimate highly the quality of the water you drink. So it goes on like this, there is so many possibilities. And maybe, I know, of course, Eckhart Tolle too. You can also wear a watch where it is now written on. Yes. No, I think it's good to be creative.
Yeah.
What works for you. So each time you look on your watch, now, okay, a deep breath, for example. The moment, coming into the moment, the breath is helping so much. Just Breathing in, breathing out 3 times, being aware of feeling the breath coming in and out. It resets in a way your inner alchemy. Things like that.
Well, would you like to do that with the audience right now so everyone can get into the present moment?
With the breathing?
Breathing, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, then I would say we close our eyes and we feel for a moment just where we sit on the chair. The backbones and the feet that touch the ground, we feel the feet also, and we relax our body. Relaxing our body. Now we are aware when we breathe in how the air comes over the nostrils in and fills the inner realm of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And just a moment, continue like that. In your own rhythm. In the beauty of being now present. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for leading us through that beautiful exercise. I would love to open up this conversation for anyone who has questions or comments for Annette. We would love to hear from you. Go ahead and put it in the chat wherever you're watching live, and we'll get your question answered. And I'll just keep going. So, why would someone want to live in a conscious way? What are some of the benefits of this way of being?
They're innumerable. I mean, because I have.
I think it's a crazy question, right? No.
Really, yeah. Because you see, I'm a normal human being. I grew up with my parents, and these parents were not so easy, and all of that. I went to school and then early to convent, and not an easy life. And then I was, as I told you before, working in the third world, and I saw so many things, so many disastrous things, and also beautiful things at the same time.
Yes.
And
yes.
finally,
that contrast in the third world.
That's a contrast. Yeah, and things happen. I got married, and I got children, and then I didn't understand my world really, why people do this and that. And finally, I was living in a partnership with my husband, and of course I always wanted to change him. Because I thought, well, if he would be a little bit different, it would be much easier in my life. Finally, I understood the only thing I have, that's myself, and I can change this human being, And it was not an easy life, but then I started, with meditation, with, looking at myself, getting to know the inner alchemy, working with dreams. That was our specialty, spiritual dream working. And I understood more and more and more. And then suddenly, you realize life is getting easier. It's getting joyful, not neglecting the suffering in the world or the beauty that I see, in nature and all that. But beyond this positive and negative, or lightful and darkness, there is something that we cannot describe that makes you at home wherever you are. And you start in a way to sing your life in silence. You know, the main thing is, for me, the quintessence is love says, I'm everything. Wisdom says, I'm nothing. Between the two, my life is flowing. So, and it's, you know, we help each other. When I started in the 80s, you know, to meditate, we thought 40 years we have to sit on the cushion, you know, to get there. There is no there. It's only now. And now, because so many people are really on the way of getting into consciousness that is one at the moment, from moment to moment, we alleviate the whole level of consciousness of humanity, and it's easier in a way to be present, loving what is from moment to moment. So, you know, the benefits, you are more calm, you are more healthy because less stress. You have better partnership, you know. The children also have a profit if you are kind, but still, you know, you have focus, you're clear. The work is easier because, you know, success is not anymore measured so much by the conventional thoughts or ideals. For me, success is to be in the presence now. That's, for me, the success for humanity.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love your definition of success. I have a podcast called Zen Success, and I always am interested in people's own version of that. That's why I started that.
You know, maybe I can add something, Charissa,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
because when you are surrendered to the bigger I, or to the bigger nameless, whatever you want to call it, you start to be in the flow, in the evolutionary flow of the oneness. And life gets easier and things come to you. You don't have to fight anymore. You understand? And the godly principle, or the nameless principle, has in it a so good being. It's very kind. It wants always the best for you. Life is for you, not against you. And that is something, oh, you experience more and more. And so you don't want for yourself certain things to happen. You're happy if you can contribute something for everybody all at once.
Mm. Yeah, so you're saying you're in alignment maybe with divine timing. So, and the right people will come to you. So you're in the flow of the universe, and then coming from your heart, you're being more of service instead of like manifesting maybe success or something in the external world.
You know, I love success you know, I am not against success at all. But, you know, it's redefinition, you understand? Because we need, I think, in many ways, a rejuvenation of many aspects. We were taught things should be like that. We have come, you know, and these challenges of humanity mirror us that. We have come to a point where we are invited for a quantum leap, and the quantum leap is oneness.
Yes, that's beautiful. And do you feel that Mother Earth and nature and other people are on this track right now? Like everything is becoming easier to connect to that oneness.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, today, spirituality without being reconnected with Mother Earth doesn't work. Because what are we doing on our world, you know? When we analyze what is happening, we destroy, so, you know, our ground for living. So I think, yes, to reconnect with Mother Earth, to reconnect with the life in the human being, the life in the animals, in the plants, also to reconnect in a cosmic realm, because it's very interesting. We are probably not the only place, you know, in this whole cosmos. And if you are more sensitive and more on a subtle level aware, you see that we have so many help at the moment for Mother Earth, for us human beings, that we are able to make this step into oneness.
Mm. Well, what do you believe is the greatest barrier to becoming fully conscious?
What is the barrier, the biggest
Yeah.
barrier, you mean?
Mhm.
Well,
What is blocking us? Mhm.
attachment,
Mm.
resistance, resistance, and I think also if we judgment. These are the big three issues. And finally, if I have to name one point, it is the identification with being only this body,
Mm.
being only this mind, these emotions, you know, the personality, the roles we have, you know, and all that. If I think that is the biggest hindrance, the biggest barrier, we have to let go. We may all use that, but actually we are more here to serve and not to get, you know, and attract things only for us. So I think the identification with this form and the roles we have is a big barrier. Yeah.
Yes, I would agree. Thank you for pointing that out. Well, I'd like to go back to your masterclass on Stream Plus and play another clip where you talk about the shadow side and the power of shadow work. Can we?
So, meeting your shadow needs very often courage. Because I tell you, I was so afraid of my inner shadows when I started to meet my teacher. I just knew I had to look at me at the depth. And I was afraid of an inner dragon. It was not rational. And then I said, if I don't look at it, my life will be gray. And I said, I jump. I take the courage. So, yes, have the courage. Because, you know, all that is happening in our world, the most dark things, are also in the collective consciousness. And we are part of that collective consciousness. And it's good to have the courage to see where we are in resonance with it and to embrace even the most dark parts. I too have had the chance to look at this very, very dark side. Like once I was able in a dream to kill somebody, me, a nice Swiss lady, killing somebody in the dream. So I had to look at that. Oh, I too have this side, or at least I'm in resonance with it. And I had to embrace it, to take it to my heart, that I could do something like that. And you know what it brings when you do that? First of all, you have a compassion for the victim and for the one that is doing this harm to other people, to other beings, human beings. And integrating that part means you are not anymore manipulated also through that aspect. We as a human being can only be manipulated when we are unconscious of a certain area in the inner alchemy. And so that is really peace work we do. We help each step. We are getting more conscious of each human being rises the consciousness of humanity.
I feel like we could end on that inspirational sentence you said about each human raising the consciousness of humanity. Yeah. So, what advice might you offer anyone listening to face their inner dragon and alleviate the fears associated with dancing with their shadows?
Charissa, I didn't understand the first part. Can you repeat, please?
Oh, sure. What advice might you
Advice.
give to someone listening to if they're contemplating facing their inner dragon?
Well, I think what I actually said, I myself was so much afraid of facing, my inner shadow, but not everybody has that. I was, I think, a special case in that area. I think, if we avoid certain things that appear in our consciousness, it's not a good strategy to put it aside, because we put energy in it and it aggravates, it makes it more grave, this situation, because it will come back if it is a deep issue. It will come back in dreams first, often. Later, if we don't listen, it comes also from outside. We are mirrored. If it is on a deeper level, a task for us to transform this aspect in our life. So I would just, say to the people, I would take them in my arms, first of all, and tell them, I understand that you are so much afraid of certain things to look at. And then maybe I would say, tell them a little bit of my story, how I did. And also that it is really worthwhile to take the jump into the unknown. In our time, this is anyway something we are challenged, because it is a time of change. And we will have a lot of challenges, but it's on a good side. It wants us to move into the new direction where there is more love, more harmony, more oneness. So the shadow, if we have a shadow, this is also an energetic block in us. And it absorbs energy, life energy. If we look at it and we are embracing it, this life energy can start to flow again. We have much more life energy for our life, but not only our life, also together co-creating with other people. So I know it needs some courage. And I would just say, try it out, And you are the master. You can always say stop if it's too much at a certain level. You can also ask for help by other people who knows how to guide when it is really a very deep shadow. There are also people that have traumatized and we have nowadays so many good possibilities, to help each other if it's something very deep and grave. Otherwise, I would say just take the courage, jump. It's like, standing on a cliff, on a small cliff, and take the courage to jump into the water. Once we have done it, we feel stronger. We feel more relieved. We feel proud, in a good sense, that we were able to embrace our shadows.
Mm. Do you also feel that embracing our shadows will help us blossom into our true self?
Oh, yes, because, of course, the shadows are shadowing our gifts, or let them only partly shine. The inner alchemy is very logical. For me, it's a science of experience. It's not, something fantasy or something. It's very real. And you can really feel, if you're connected in self-reflection to your inner body feeling, how things are lightened, revealed, like your intuition is growing and you are more and more guided into your jewel, what you really are.
That's beautiful. I wanted to talk about love for a minute. What is love to you?
Love is so subtle, you cannot define it.
Okay.
Because you can only define something that is more subtle than love, but that doesn't exist. Love is the alpha and the omega. And it's really uniting polarities. It's flowing out of oneness naturally. Loving, being present, loving what is effortless because we are love. We are saying, for example, the whole universe is created through an act of love. As above, so below. The human being is also created in an act of love. And if you look deeper inside, you see that every atom is in a way held together by love. It circles around the inner pole of love. So love is, it's unconditional. It just is. And if you're present, it just flows through our heart to the one that are looking for it or not looking for it, because love is very subversive. It finds the spot where it touches the human being. Love can really move mountains.
Mm. And I feel like you answered this a little bit, but I have a follow-up question.
Yes, please.
What does it mean to love completely?
Well, first of all, there is nobody that loves. It just loves. You see, we are completely loving is like feeling, it's personal, impersonal. It's like it flows through you continuously. I don't do anything. I don't create or make love, that's there. It is the most natural thing for a human being in oneness, that love with an open heart is there. And it's very practical. You love your husband, your mother, your father, your children, Mother Earth. You love what is given to you in a daily life. You help maybe other people, but it's not that you do something because, I'm a great person, I love, and I have been full of compassion and I support this project and I do this and that. No, for me, that's what we really are in the depths. Godly beings, and godly beings that make a human experience cannot do anything else than just love. And of course, in our family and our neighborhood, and so you have more intensive kind of love, but actually it's for the whole world. It's for everything that is. You just love. Love has many faces. It's not, sweet, only pink or so. Sometimes love says no. Sometimes love says yes. Sometimes love says maybe. The right time with the right person at the right location, love acts, how do I say, in a just way, adapted to what is necessary, like that.
Beautiful. So, do you believe that love is an action and we can send love where there is unlove or hate?
You see, there are different levels of love. First, what I described was love is a natural flow in a human being in presence. And then we can also use, but that's for me, then you go into two, For example, we do prayer work, we do support projects on people. If they are sick, we go there. Of course, you can also then direct, direct that compassion specifically to somebody that is in need for it. Yes, of course, we do that also. Yeah, very actively. Yeah. For me, living consciously is action in love.
I see that. Yeah, that's a beautiful way to say it. And I wanted to talk about dream work. Why is dream work such a useful tool to help us live more consciously?
First of all, everybody is dreaming every night, if you remember or not. So that's very interesting, first of all. We dream. Why do we dream? That's also an intelligence of consciousness in it that tries to balance, first of all, the psyche, the emotional part, and what is happening during the day. That's also part of the dream work that helps us to balance. The dream has also different level of consciousness that it touches. Till archetypes, there are spiritual dreams, there are dreams, shadow dreams, there are jewel dreams, there are vision dreams, there are dreams sometimes for other persons, there are collective dreams. So it is actually presenting you your inner alchemy. And it's there. We say everything you dream is part of you. Or you have a resonance. Even if it's Saddam Hussein or Hitler or, Dalai Lama or, everything that you dream, you have a resonance with that aspect. And you look at it. You understand. You can work with it. Or, for example, I didn't like alcoholic persons. On the street, I always didn't look at them. I walked by and no, I didn't want to see. Then I had a dream about an alcoholic man, you know, so I thought, oh God, I have to look at it. Why does it appear in myself? There is something. And then I started in the man that was in my dream to look at him and to understand why he drinks. And then I could, in a way, integrate that part, which the effect of it is that I can now walk in the streets and look at these people and have compassion. Before I was separating myself.
Yes.
And that is oneness, practice of oneness. So spiritual dream work can help us to get to know thyself. That's a good tool.
Yeah. And I liked that you bring up archetypes, because sometimes there can be special meanings of animals
Yes.
or symbols that are important to look up because and share, because like Annette said, it might be for another person or could be a vision. Yeah.
And also, you know, we have now been talking a lot about shadows, but you have exactly the potential, or the gift we have is maybe through dreams revealed that have been covered. You know, you have a lot of light, also impulses or insights. It's not only shadow, it's also what maybe through conditioning, family or culture has been covered, you know, but is not, or covered your inner being or your special talent because it didn't fit in. Wow, it can reveal. So it is, and behind it, you know, behind each dream, there is a consciousness light that at that moment when you have to dream has in itself a loving impulse to bring something into your consciousness, whether it's lightful or dark, that you can grow as a human being, being more conscious, being more inclusive, embracing more, loving all that is finally.
Thank you for that. Well, I'd like to play another clip from your masterclass on Stream Plus, The Art of Living in a Conscious Way, and you talk about standing up. Can you play that clip, Jim?
Standing up means that what we received or what we are receiving from moment to moment as grace, as love, as whatever comes into our life, being a blessing, we share. It's for sharing with other people. Sharing means standing up, being engaged for humanity, for the whole world, for Mother Earth, in a cosmocentric context. It means act, like Jude Currivan said, act locally, think globally, feel globally, and think cosmically. So, standing up is not so much about making plans for the future. It's much more being present in the moment, listening to your heart.
Thank you for that. Oh, well, any final words, Annette, as we close out today?
Charissa, yes, we have, you know, an invitation also for next year. Changing Humanity's Future. Steve and I, we are meeting together, gathering, bringing together European people as being part of the world from the 23rd to the 27th of July at Villa Unspunnen, where we want to continue and let evolve more deeply also changing humanity's future. That's my last word as an invitation.
Oh, thank you for that invitation for all of us. And if you want to learn more, feel free to reach out to us at Humanities Team. And as this event unfolds, we'll send out more information. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for Living Consciously, Loving Completely with Annette Kaiser. Annette Kaiser's course, The Art of Living in a Conscious Way, is available now on the Stream Plus platform. So if you're not a member, join now and gain immediate access to this incredible program. You'll get access to Annette Kaiser's course and other incredible spiritual teachers and programs. So we are proud to say that Humanity Stream Plus is the largest global streaming platform. We have a little clip from Stream Plus to show everyone all of the, as I'm talking about it, all of the amazing spiritual teachers. So it's the largest global streaming platform for consciousness raising masterclasses and transformational education. And we are a nonprofit and also give back with our 1-for-1 program, sharing our content with those who cannot afford the membership. I wanted to thank Steve Farrell, Dee Meyer, and the production team, Nanette Kennedy, Jim Gray, Garth Catterall, Abby Johnson, and the rest of Humanities Team. It takes all of us to put this together. And it's been such a pleasure seeing you again, Annette, connecting with you. And thank you for sharing your wisdom with us to help us live more consciously.
Thank you and your team and everybody that joined us. Thank you so much.